Hello, my name is Tim Maxwell. Today I'm going to talk about submitting warranty claims online. Airstream submits all warranty claims online. It's a paperless process that's submitted through the web. The first thing you need to do is open up your internet connection and get into your server. Right up here at the top, the address bar, we're going to type in http semicolon // and then Airstream .parts and warranty .com and then hit enter. Again, that's http semicolon // Airstream.parts and warranty.com. To get that typed in, we're going to hit enter. The very next thing that comes up, it's going to load up the screen. It's going to load in the warranty login screen. And our warranty that we use is going to be SBS Warranty Pro. And right up here, we're going to put in our password. Now, the password that we're going to be using for today is going to be called Timmy's Training. Timmy's Training is going to be the dealership. So I'm going to log in. This is my password. And then I'm going to hit login. As soon as I hit login, the screen loads. Now, you're going to notice a few things that come up. First thing that comes up is going to be this screen right here that we see here. This is going to be some information that the warranty department and the customer support team wants to share with you, the dealer. This is where you're going to maybe find out some holiday hours, login screen for the dealer network, some how-tos, some guide instructions, and then down here is some commonly used part numbers that would help you do the warranty claim. After we get done with that screen, just hit OK. It's going to go away. The very next thing that I want to talk about now is our tree over here on this side. We have a service and parts, we have a warranty, a dealer manager, and my account. First, let's click on the dealer manager. Right after we click on the dealer manager, the dealer info. This is going to be information about your dealership. So I'm going to click right here on dealer info, and look what happens. This is my dealer number right here, AWS001. That's the dealer number for my dealer name, which is going to be Timmy's Training. If you was some other dealer, this is where your dealer name would come up. Then we have over here is the address. The address for Timmy's Training dealership is 34 Classic Way. My phone number would be listed over here. Address to city, state, Ohio, and the zip code. So that's going to be the information right in here for the dealership. Next line, we're going to see the administrator list and the user list. So the administrator is going to be the person at the dealership who has control of the site, would be control of adding or taking out users. So we see here, I got an AWS person that's logged in. I got a Timmy's Training that's logged in as administrator, and then we got a parts training. This is where the parts person would come up. Right away, I'm going to click on anything here. If I want to see the password and users for this guy, notice how all the passwords are all blanked out. I can't see them either. If you would call and say that you needed a new password, you couldn't find your password, I'd have to reset your password for you. You can reset your own if you know your password to get into the system. Right now, the login name's Timmy's Training. The password, I could just highlight this and then I could retype it. We could make up our new password and then hit update, and then we got it updated. Just going back then makes things back up to our dealer. Then it would be down here and it would be training and it would be blocked back in. So that's the dealer manager and my account. That's information about your dealership. My account is information about you. I'm going to click on that, raise that tree back up. Now the very next thing I want to chat about is warranty. This is where this drop-down tree is where we're going to have all of our tabs for submitting claims, getting pre-authorization, our drafts, all of our archive of files. So I'm going to click on warranty. You can see down here I got my last activity. I got a service work order. If I need just a generic service work order, if the dealership doesn't have one, I would click on this service work order, and this is going to be just a generic service work order that you could use. The next thing I'm going to click on is claims. Right here, claims. Look what comes up. We got add new claim, drafts, pending pre-auth, pre-authorized approved, pending authorization, pending management approval, return tag pending, feedback pending, and then my archives. And now I'm going to talk about each one of these, and I'm going to break it down so it makes a little bit of sense for you. Add a new claim is just that. If I want to add a new claim, I'm just going to click on add a new claim. As soon as I click on add a new claim, the warranty claim pops up. A brand new warranty claim pops up. And then right over here off to see where my little cursor automatically goes? That's where I would put in the serial number. And when we're putting in a serial number, the only thing that I need is the last 6 digits. So I'm going to just type in 526600. That's the last 6 digits of the customer's unit number that we're submitting a warranty claim for. I'm going to hit look up. It will automatically look up the rest of that serial number. So now look up. It's typed in the whole serial number for me. It tells me it's a 19-foot International Signature Series. My dealer name is Timmy's Training. My dealer number, my labor rate, my address, my phone number, all this is automatically filled in. And then this dealer stock tells me that the unit is still in stock, that it hasn't been sold. If this was a customer's unit, the customer information would show up right in here. The very next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fill out the appointment date. When did this customer bring his unit in? Or when's the appointment for this customer? And today I'm going to say that he brought it in today. He's a customer. The vehicle arrived today. And then the day that I'm doing the work order, WSO is Work Service Order Date Preparation. I'm going to click on that. And this always has to match up to the date that you're doing it. Now, we haven't done any work yet, so I'm not going to put the repair completion date, the customer notified, or the vehicle picked up. These dates up here really, really have to match what we're doing because this is a living document. Okay, it is a legal document as well. So the very next thing I'm going to do, after I got all these filled in, I can come over here. Now, if we got a dealer work order that we want to attach it to, let's say my work order, my dealership work order is RO221. I will type that in there, and then that can be cross-referenced, so you can cross-reference them back and forth. Okay, now anything in blue, I can't mess with. Anything in white, we can mess with. The very next thing that I want to do, I want to come down to job operation number 1. And it's very important we understand what the real problem is. I'm going to come down here to the operation code. Click on the operation code, and I'm going to say that my battery disconnect solenoid is not working. This is going to be job operation number 1. So what I want to do is I want to come to the 12-volt system, then over here to the group. I'm going to hit the group, and then I'm going to hit the wiring. So we got a 12-volt system as a category because the battery disconnect is 12-volt. It is wiring, so now I'm going to come over here. The battery disconnect is the relay. So I'm going to highlight and click on relay. But look what this tells me. R&R relay, this is the code, 9049 is the code, the operation code. The time that Airstream is going to give us to do that is 0.5, which is a half hour. Do I need authorization? If there's a check mark in this box, it requires authorization before I change the part. And then, do I want the part back, or does Airstream require the part back? Yes or no? Okay, so R&R relay, 9049 is the code, 0.05 or a half hour is the time. The authorization, no, I do not need authorization, but yes, the part comes back. If I would come up here and just going to click on replace the 7-way hookup, 8056 would be the operation code. Again, a half hour. Do we want authorization? Yes, it's required before we do it. And do we want the old one back? Yes. Down next one, if we go to the European battery charger setting, that would be the code, an hour and a half. No, we don't want it back, and no, not to return the part. So we're talking about the relay here. I'm going to click on that. Once I click on it, it highlights it, and then I hit OK. You can see it filled that in, but over here underneath job operation number 1, R&R relay. Never do I want anybody to go in and type up and overtype this. See, we can overtype this, but don't. Just always go back to R&R, the relay, what that says. This would mess up the codes in the system. We wouldn't actually know if it matches entirely. So the next thing that we're going to fill in is the failure code. Why did that relay go bad, or what is the problem with the relay? And we're just going to say that it was a component failure, that the relay's bad. It's not opening and closing like it should. The cause, right up here. Now I'm going to type in the cause. What happened? The battery will not open. Will not open. Battery disconnect relay will not open. The remedy, replace. So I'm going to type both of them in there. Battery disconnect relay will not open. What's the remedy? Replace it. Half hour automatically fills it in. Now let's say if I want an hour. Look what's going to happen. If I change that to an hour, it's going to go red. That's not an indication that we're not going to pay the hour. We just need more information. But the flat rate to do that under normal circumstances is .050. We're going to change that back. Then it goes from red back to black. Okay. The next thing I'm going to put in is my initials. Who's doing this? Because if we want to call somebody, we want to know who to call. So I'm going to put in my initials. TEM for Tim Maxwell. So we got all that filled in just right so. And then if there's any additional comments on here, this is where we would add it. On this relay, if there's shipping to and from, we would put the shipping or the freight down here. So I'm going to say it cost me $25 to get the relay to and from. If it's a stock, we wouldn't have that. But if we're reordering for a stock, we would have that. Okay, so we're going to put that on there. Now we do not need to request for pre-authorization, so I would submit it. But let's say there's another one. Let's say that I want to add a second job operation to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come right over here, down on the bottom, add job operation. A new screen comes up. Now we're at job operation number 2. I'm going to come over to the operation code. Let's say that I need a sensor, that our monitoring system's not going to work right. So now I'm going to come up to the monitoring system. 12 volt. So the 12 volt is the monitoring system. Now look, there's a monitoring system code for it. So category is going to be 12 volt systems. The group's going to be the monitoring system. And then R&R black sensor. Let's say the black sensor is not reading right. So look what happens. R&R black sensor, the failure code is 8025-05. The time is going to be flat rate because there's not a time posted. Do we want authorization before we do it? No, but yes, we want that sensor back. So I'm going to highlight that, click yes. Look what comes up. R&R black sensor, cause, not reading correctly. The failure code is going to come over here, and then I'm going to find the best failure codes that best describes it. There's a whole bunch of failure codes, and we just want to make sure that we get the right one. Registers incorrectly would be the one because it registers incorrectly. So I'm going to hit the code, failure code, registers incorrectly, hit OK. That automatically fills that in. Now, how long does it take? I'm going to say it takes me another half hour for this one. Remedy, replace. Replace sensor. And then make access whole. Make access whole to get to the sensor to replace it. So there, R&R black sensor not reading correctly. Now, let's say if there's a part number. There's a part. I want to add a part to this claim. Right over here is add, delete, and look up. If I want to look up a part, I'm going to hit look up. My screen will come up. Now we're going to hit we're going to just type in sensor. And then hit my arrow. And now I'm going to look for a black tank sensor. You can either get this number from the parts department or a sensor. Now we're just going to come through and we're going to find the sensor. You can see all these sensors come up. Just going to go to the next sensor. Here it is, sensor tank monitoring. I'm going to click on this, hit select. It automatically fills in the part number, the sensor tank monitoring. I got to report how many. I'm using 1 because it's for the black tank. The price automatically, the unit price fills in at $30.64. The allowance, which is my markup, with 20% markup is what I have, is $613. The adjusted total on that is what we're going to pay you for that is $36.77. So that's automatically going to fill that in, and then we have our claim done. The next thing that I want to do, let's say I have another claim. I'm going to add another job operation. Let's say this and we sublet something out. We had some flooring, or we had to sublet some flooring repairs out, or we sublet some cushion repairs out. I'm going to come to my operation code. I'm going to come down here then to the upholstery safety. Let's say that I had some linoleum that was cut. I'm going to hit OK. Let's say we had a flooring guy come in and do that. So there's not going to be any hours. But now down here, the sublet is going to be, let's say, charge me $75 to fix that. So I'm going to type in $75 right there. I'm going to come up to the failure code. What was wrong with that flooring? And it would be cut. So I'm going to come down here and find the one that says cut. Scored, scratched. On that, now we got the failure code. Flooring cut, and then this is very important. If they're cut, they got to be noted on the bill of lading. So we would verify that that was noted when you guys got it at the dealership, and if it was, we would put noted on bill of lading. And then sublet to get that replaced. Again, we want my initials right here, and we want our initials up here as well. So now we have our initials. Linoleum cut, sublet. That's where you would put the sublet. There is no markup up here on this part. There's a markup for the parts of 20%, and that's if you have in stock. And down here, there is no markup on sublet, so the sublet that you get is there. That is the sublet price. And then we would want to attach that. So now let's say that we're right up here, and we want to make sure that the dealership or the Airstream really understands that battery disconnect. There's another one down here, attachments. I want to attach a picture of that relay for the customer service guys to see. I'm going to hit attachments. I'm going to open this up. Save it first. We want to save it. Now I'm going to hit attachments. Add new attachments. I'm going to say right here a relay. Relay photos. I'm going to hit browse, and now I'm going to go select it on my computer. I'm going to come to my desktop where I have it, and I'm just going to find that photo. And we just got to find the photo in here where we put it on our desktop. And then we're going to say what it is. Then hit OK. It's automatically going to load that then to this site. Here comes my relay photo. Open it up. And look what I got. Now that is attached. That is attached to that document. Now we're going to come back. And we got it. So the customer service guys, when they get it, they can see that picture to that, and it's not a problem. If we want to delete something, let's say we put a job operation on here that now we realize that we may have put it on the wrong unit. All simply I just hit delete, and see where job operation number 3 just went away just that quick. So look what we got here. Total parts, $30.64 is for the sensor for job operation number 2. Total labor is $50 because we had an hour. Remember, my labor rate is $50. We got a half hour up on job operation 1, half hour on job operation number 2. So my labor rate, total labor is $50. My markup allowance, which is my 20% of my parts. Now this may vary. The markup allowance is going to be $613. Total sublet, I took my sublet claim off as 0, then freight in and out, because if we want a part back, you got to have freight coming back as well, and you type that in there as well. We have that all done. Now for getting ready to submit it, we're going to see how the submit button is out. We replaced the sensor required some pre-auth, so I'm going to hit pre-auth. When I hit this, there's going to be 2 buttons that come up right off to the side. And we're just going to hit OK. And now it went to customer service for approval. I'm going to X out of this claim right over here. We're going to X out. If we would come up to our different, we went to the add new claim, the drafts, now pending pre-auth. See that claim went to pending pre-auth? If I click on pending pre-auth, here's that claim. So right now this claim is in the pending pre-auth folder. And it's telling me that it's waiting for the customer service guys to look at it. Once they look at it, it'll come out of the pending pre-auth folder and come into the pre-authorization approved. Notice that is empty now. So when that gets done, that'll come up in the other. So I'm going to have customer service. I'm going to have them authorize my claim. Here, just a few seconds. We'll get that claim authorized. Okay, customer services authorized the claim. Now we're going to come back. Now we're going to come back in, and we're going to go to our pre-authorization approved. You just got to wait for the system to reset itself here. We'll sign back out and sign back in here. Here's your screen. Now we're coming into our claims. Pre-authorization approved. Now there's where our claims at. Notice how it went from the pending pre-auth to the pending pre-authorization approved. See, it's not up there. Now it's up here. So now I got the pre-authorization to do the work. We're gonna get our parts ordered, get them put in. Let's say we got the authorization. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to repair the completions. We got it done, and the customer all picked up. So now I'm going to pick these up. Now, if the customer doesn't pick up till tomorrow, I do not fill that out yet. Okay, it's only when the customer leaves is when I complete that. Once the work's done, I'm going to come down here. Customer approves each job operation, and then the customer signature is obtained. The customer has to sign off on a work order stating that it's all right to do the work. I'm going to hit submit. It's going to go to the customer service team for approval. So now look what it did. It went from the pending pre-auth. It went from the pending pre-auth. We got authorization. Now it's in the approval pending. So it's going to go to the pending approval file. And then once that gets approved, it's going to come down into the archives. But let's say if somebody had a question on it, if somebody didn't understand something. they're going to come back through and they're going to maybe ask a question. Customer service has a question. We're going to chat on just a little bit on that. So now let's say the customer service has some feedback. We're going to look in here. We're going to come to our claims. We're going to notice that we don't have any claims in pending pre-auth. No claims in pending pre-authorization approved. None in my approval pending because it is not there. If I come to my feedback pending, we're going to notice that it shows up in there. I'm just going to log back off and log back on again. And then it'll show up. Okay, none in pending pre-auth, none in pre-auth approved, pending. All these are empty, but now look down here in feedback pending. This is where my claim showed up, 505-4004. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to see what the feedback is, what they're asking. See how my feedback is highlighted? And I click on that, the feedback, and see what customer service is asking. Basically, they're just saying using the feedback function. Yes, this works. That would be my response. Now it goes back to customer service. That's where the customer service team would ask, some specific questions. Where's it scratched? In detail. What's not working? What is going on? And they're going to ask a lot of questions. Sometimes they may just ask to submit some photos of it or to give them a call or anything like that. That's where they're going to do the feedback. Okay. So now if we look at that claim, it's going to automatically go, we're going to X out of the claim, it's going to automatically go back into approval pending. Okay, now we're back up. We authorize it. The customer service then did the feedback. We responded to the feedback. After that feedback, we don't hear anything else. Then it's going to show up in the archive folder, which is either the approved or the denied. So it's going to come down here. If I click on the approved, this is all the approved claims for the dealership. Denied, these are going to be all the denied claims that come in for the dealership. And if we look here, they're denied in this section. Here's that 505-004 that we did, and it was just denied because it was a fictitious dealer. If it was actually a dealer, it wouldn't have been denied. It went through. So that's the process for submitting warranty claims and attaching photos. Another thing that I really want to show you is a CPC summary report. If I would click on this summary report, I'm going to type in 524-600. Okay, just the last 6. I'm going to hit lookup. Whenever it says select from 2 VINs, I'm going to come down here, and there's some XXX VINs, and then there's an actual VIN. I'm going to click on the actual VIN, hit View Report, and then this is going to be the CPC report that comes out. But look what happens. This says when the date of delivery was. The date of this trailer went to service was 5/7/2010. The warranty expires 5/7/2012 because it's a 2-year warranty. This is the customer name and information. And then right up here is all the components, the manufacturer's name, the serial number, and the model number for all the components listed in his trailer. So using the CPC summary report, I can tell if a customer's in warranty or if I'm trying to get something fixed or locate some main door keys for the customer. See, there's a main door key. MDK, main door key, Trimark, his main door key code is RHO32. So I'm able to help the customer out with some specific information when it comes to the components and the serial number and the model number of his units. So we're coming back to the claims. We've talked about the claims, pending pre-authorization, pre-authorization approved, approval pending. We've talked about all these, then the archives, CP summary report, and all this. So I'm going to just back these back up. There's another thing that I just want to show you. I'm going to click on warranty. Clear down here in the bottom is vendor contact information or warranty policy and procedure manual. So if I want to contact the vendors, let's say ZipD, Atwood, and I don't have their number, all the vendor contact numbers are listed in there. It's in a PDF form. You download it and it comes up. Same way with our warranty policy and procedure manual. You click on that, you download it, and it comes up. It's in a PDF form as well. And then when a claim goes from folder to folder, you will be sent an email stating that claim has left that folder. It's now in a new folder, and it's waiting a response either from the factory or a response from you. So listen, I hope this helps. Thank you, and have a great day.